When people come in and talk to me, especially after I've done an educational event, they ask the question like, "How long can I expect to live?" And so I say to them like, "How long are your relatives living?" So a lot of times, Tom, what happens is when I've completed an educational event, people will come up to me and ask this question: "When can I retire?" A lot of it has to do with how old they think they're going to live to, right? And we can ask, and when I started doing this, like over 20 years ago, this particular type of retirement planning, that's what I used to ask people. How long are you going to live to? But now it's even more of a question because I'll ask them, how long have your relatives lived? And ultimately, they've got people that lived into their late 80s, many of them in their 90s. And I speak to people quite often now that have a living relative that's 100 years old. So the whole concept of longevity, and I think when I read articles in the financial press, there's a thing called longevity risk, right? So
Correct.
is that a big factor in what we're talking about here?
I think it's a huge factor. I think longevity risk, the risk of potentially running out of money in retirement because you are living to potentially your 90s, your hundreds. I think that's one of the biggest risks for people in retirement today.
Right.
And you see a lot of people worry about it.
Mhm.
So that begs the question, what do I do to prepare for that?
Mhm.
And I think, like we mentioned, having a plan is a good starting point, right? You got to make sure the plan has all those pieces. But that's a big one.